Welcome to the Wildly Free podcast. I'm your host, Hannah Plord, mindset and intuition mentor, and I'm building a movement of people becoming wildly free through expanding their consciousness and deepening their intuition. Wildly free means feeling confident enough to do whatever you desire, to heal the parts of you keeping you small, to live in the present moment so you can find peace and joy, and to find wealth and overflowing abundance in every part of your life. Welcome to the movement. Let's begin. Welcome, everyone, to another episode of the Wildly Free podcast. Today, I have a wonderful recording of an Instagram and TikTok live that I did. During this live stream, I talked about the 3 steps to success as an entrepreneur, as an online coach or creative. A lot of entrepreneurs tend to overcomplicate things when they're getting started. They get into analysis paralysis where they're just spending hours and hours researching and studying other people and trying to emulate what they are doing. But in the process, they are not taking action. They're getting overwhelmed by the amount of information, and they actually get further and further away from the progress that they hope to make towards their dream. Now, I hope that this episode just dispels any beliefs that you have to have everything perfect before you get started, because there are really only 3 things you need, and they're super simple. So during this episode, you're actually going to start the foundations of a wildly successful business. You're going to figure out I'm not going to go into the steps now because you're going to learn in the episode, but we're going to cover the 3 aspects of your business that you need to know before you get started, and how to navigate the pesky ego mind as it comes up and prevents you from taking action, how to keep going even when it feels like you're talking to no one, even when it feels like you're making no progress, even when you're hearing no's and feedback. So I hope that this episode serves you well. Even if you are an established entrepreneur, these foundations will continue to serve you at any level, whether you're making 10K months, 20K months, 100K months. It is so vital to know the information that I go over during this episode today. And if you are interested in what's going on in our world right now, in the wildly free world, I am posting every single day, but things are actually going to change next month in June. Richard, and I are traveling abroad. We're going to spend a week in Switzerland and then 2 weeks in Italy exploring. This is actually going to be our first abroad trip together as a couple. So it's really exciting. But what that means is my business is going to be run a little differently. The capacity that I have for clients is going to be cut down to 50%. So if you're interested in working with me, this is the chance to get in. I only have 3 spots available, and you're going to learn more about what those 3 spots entail at the end of this episode. So do stay tuned if you want to learn more about working with me. Don't you worry. I will still be posting as often as I can. There will still be podcast episodes being released, but things are going to go a little half capacity while I go enjoy my life and be wildly free. So with that, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you do listen and enjoy it and you want to give us some feedback, please rate and review. I read all of them. And if you get anything valuable from this episode, which you will because it's amazing, go ahead and take a screenshot of you listening and tag us on Instagram. My handle is @hannah.plord. You can send me a message with your greatest takeaway, whatever you desire. I literally get so happy. I do a little happy dance every time I receive those. So without any further ado, let's get into the episode. Hello. All right, today we're going to be talking about how to sign your next client. And there are really 3 steps with a little bonus step that I'm going to add in there. But I want to talk and look at the average entrepreneur. Now I'm talking about a service provider, online entrepreneur, a coach, an online service provider, like a virtual assistant, a graphic designer, people like that. If you're in that realm of entrepreneurship, then you're going to gain from this live stream. If you're watching on TikTok, make sure you go and follow me on Instagram because I am cross streaming right now, and you're gonna get a lot more. Hi Danny, welcome. You're gonna get a lot more out of this if you are on the Instagram. If you are here, drop a hi, hello, what's your name in the comments so that I know who you are. I see there's Danny in the house. I see Maya. I see Lupita. Welcome. Hey. I like to do live streams very collaborative. So if you are understanding what I'm saying, put a heck yes in the chat. If you are joining and watching the replay, say hello. But let's dive in. So if you don't know me, my name is Hannah Plord. I'm an intuitive business mentor, and I have an unusual and atypical success story. Hey, Caitlin, welcome. My story began when I had lost my job and my housing, my secure job that I thought I was going to have forever, in 2020 when we all knew what was happening. Hey, James. And I thought my life was over. I was really upset until I saw an ad on Facebook about becoming a virtual assistant. Hey, Edward, welcome. And I just took this leap of faith and became a social media manager. And within 6 months, I had doubled my yearly income, and I was shocked. This allowed me to buy a house that I'm currently calling you all from. It helped me begin to travel and hike more and just live my best life. And at this point in time, everyone was asking me how I did that. So I started transitioning into coaching, and I had doubled my yearly income in 6 months, and I began coaching, and every single person coming to me had the exact same desire. They wanted to sign more clients, make more money, and have more free time in their business. The problem that they were facing, the solution, was different depending on the person's mindset. So we're going to go over in this live stream a couple of different options for, like, a couple of different scenarios, different cases that could be applicable to you and what was going on and what was going to help them succeed. But very first and foremost, there are only 3 things you need to have a business, to run a business. So simple. 1, you need to know who you are going to sell to. Who do you want your audience to be? What are they? What are their problems? What are their desires? What do they cry about at night to their partner? Like, what are they thinking about? You need 2, you need to know what. What are you selling? What are you going to offer that ideal client that you just described? What are you going to, pitch them? What are you going to take them through? What transformation are you going to take them through? What's point A for them? What's point B for them? So you need to know who you're selling to, you need to know what you're selling, and then you need to know how you're going to sell it. So how are you going to put yourself out there? Are you going to use TikTok? Are you going to use Instagram? Are you going to go on YouTube? Are you going to just do word of mouth? What is your method of selling? And it's that simple. Now here we're going to look at a couple of examples of new entrepreneurs. So the first thing is, you get this intuitive hit, you're like, I'm going to start a business, and you get really excited, and you're like, hey, maybe I saw someone online, they're an online coach, and they're really successful, and they have the life that I desire. And so I have a lot of experience in, let's think of an example. I know how to dance, and I have a lot of experience about navigating my mindset as a dancer, and I want to help people realize that, like, your mindset plays a big part in your success. This is just an example. And so you get this intuitive hit. You're like, I'm going to start a business. I'm going to put myself out there. And you start doing research, and you're looking online, and you're thinking, oh, okay, so this person's doing it this way, this person's doing it that way. And you're like, just doing all this research, you're gathering ideas. And what ends up happening is you get so overwhelmed that you don't take any action. So what went wrong? This person was looking to other people to get the inspiration. They're basically telling their intuition that I don't trust you, because they got that intuitive hit to start their own business, become this coach who's helping dancers with their mindset. Weird example. I've never danced in my life. And their intuitive hit was like, yes, this is the next step for you. But then your ego started doubting yourself, and you started looking online for answers when the answers was inside of you this entire time.
If we go back to the 3 things that you need to sign your next client, you need to know who your client's going to be, you need to know what you're selling, and you need to know how to do that. And so in this example, this coach, she already knows what she's going to do. She's going to help people with their mindset and become better dancers. Her ideal client is going to be dancers who struggle with their mindset, who feel like they're not good enough, who judge their body image maybe. And 3, they need to know how they're going to sell. So perhaps they say, I see everyone doing things on Instagram, I'm going to show up on Instagram. The disconnect for a lot of people is actually taking the action, because the strategy is very simple. It's broken down to 3 things. You need to know who, what, and how. But what is the hard part is actually putting yourself out there and showing up and taking action every single day. Now, a lot of entrepreneurs, they come from the traditional job matrix. And these people, everyone pretty much goes through the traditional job matrix. We're told to study hard in school, get a good degree, then use our degree to go into corporate and then climb the corporate ladder until you're making a lot of money, and then you can retire and then you can enjoy your life. But we all have this mindset of, I need to clock in at 9 a.m. and pretend I'm working, do my work, and then clock out at 5 p.m. When you become an entrepreneur, you no longer have a boss telling you exactly what to do. You no longer have someone monitoring what your actions are throughout the day. You no longer have a preset to-do list and people saying, okay, check off everything you do. Let us know what you do. Hi, everyone joining. I see Selling is Feminine just joined. The Sonia joined. Hi, Sonia. To pop your name in the chat, tell me you're here. I see Brooke joined. Ash joined. Welcome, everybody. So when we transition from being an employee to becoming an entrepreneur, your mindset needs to change. You're no longer reporting to someone else for the daily actions that you need to take. What's happening is you now become your own boss and you get to make the decisions of what you focus your time and energy on. Hi, Amy, welcome. And when you first start, that can be really daunting because you're seeing everyone online. Most of these people are multiple steps ahead of you. And so you think, oh, like this person is showing up on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Pinterest. They have an email list of 1,000 people. They have so many different programs. I need to try to copy that. But the moment you begin to copy someone else, what they are doing online, even if it's not like you're copying people's content or like programs, I know you want to do that. But when you're trying to copy their strategy, it's never going to work for you because they're at a different step than you are. They are at a different step than you are. And that it factor that they have online is confidence. The thing that's preventing you from taking action is your own confidence. If we look back at that first example that I was just talking about, the person who wants to become a mindset coach for dancers who have low self-esteem, they didn't take action because they got so caught up in everything they're supposed to do, everything they should be doing. And when you're focusing on the things that you should be doing, what other people are doing and you're not doing, your energy is being spent on obsessing over what other people are doing, comparing yourself, worrying that you're not doing enough, worrying that you look wrong, worrying that you don't have enough experience. All that energy that you could be spending on taking action is being spent worrying in your mind. And so I always say the hardest part of being an entrepreneur and building a wildly successful business is not the strategy. That's really easy. You already know it. It's so simple. 3 steps. Who am I going to sell to? What am I selling them? And how am I going to do it? 3 steps. That's so easy. The hard part is overcoming your ego mind. Your mind is constantly oscillating between your ego and your intuition. Now remember, your intuition said, I'm going to start a business for helping dancers with their mindset. That was our example. Your intuition already gave you the first step. Now your ego's like, well, wait a minute. I don't have a certification for that. Wait a minute. How do I do that? Wait a minute. What are other people doing? I should try to be like them. Wait a minute. Maybe I'm not pretty enough. Like your ego is feeding all these worries, these what ifs. But your intuition, if you just chose to slow down and you started to process the thoughts that were going through your head, your intuition's still giving you the next step. Your intuition is like, well, you really like Instagram, so show up on Instagram. Well, you really love doing videos, so show up on TikTok. But you have that chatter. You have that chatter coming on in your mind, and you can't distinguish between your ego and your intuition. Hi. So someone said, showing up for myself today by catching your live on my lunch break. You look wonderful. Oh, thank you. Thanks. So your job as an entrepreneur is to navigate between your ego mind and your intuition. And I see a lot of people online saying, do the embodiment work, do the energetic work. And then they don't tell you what the energetic work is. And so I remember for a really long time seeing that and being like, okay, well, I'm missing out on something. This is also an example of me looking for other people for advice when I already knew what I had to do with my intuition. But I saw other people online saying, you need to do the embodiment work, you need to do the energetic work. And I was like, okay. So I would sit and meditate and for like 30 minutes and feel like, okay, like, I don't really feel different. Is it supposed to be hard? It's called work. Like, what am I supposed to do? I would journal and I would just like write about my day. And I'd be like, okay, like, what am I supposed to get from this? And nothing would come from it. And I would feel like I am wasting time doing this embodiment work, doing the energetic work for no gain. What the energetic work is, what the embodiment work is really simple. It's just having the consciousness, the awareness of the thoughts running through your head, understanding what blocks are coming up, what patterns are coming up, what limiting beliefs are coming up, rewriting those stories in your head. So for example, let's say I am not good on video. That's a limiting belief that's coming up. And so you say, well, wait a minute, where did this belief come from? Why am I thinking that? Is that true? Is this a belief I want to keep? Is it serving me? No, it's not serving me. If I want to grow my business online, I have to get comfortable being on video. If I want to grow my business online, it's okay if I'm not perfect on video. The more I practice, the better I'll get. So once you recognize your ego saying, oh, you're not good enough on video, and so the block there is blocking you from showing up and doing more lives, getting in your own way, showing up and posting content, you rewrite that story and say, no, it's a work in progress. I'm going to keep showing up. I'm going to practice and get better and better and better. And then suddenly you are taking action and you become great at videos. That's the embodiment work. That's the energetic work. So the hardest part of being an entrepreneur is not strategy. Who are you going to sell to? What are you going to sell them? And how are you going to do it? That's the strategy. Very simple. The hardest part is navigating the constant oscillation between your ego mind and your intuition. Navigating those limiting beliefs that pop up to tell you you're not good enough, to tell you you don't know enough, to tell you no one wants to buy from you, and rewriting those stories so that you take inspired action every single day. Let's look at some of the comments. So Seller Door says, it's the overwhelm for me, all this info and only one of me, LOL. Yeah, that's where we just cut out the info. Stop researching, stop like burying yourself in a hole of analysis paralysis, and just take action. You need to know 3 things. Who are you going to sell to? What are you going to sell to them? And how are you going to sell it? On Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, what do you want? Ligma, I don't know if I'm saying that right. Are you a successful entrepreneur yourself? Yes, I am. I have been a coach for 3 years now. I doubled my yearly income in 6 months, and I coach coaches and creatives on how to build a wildly successful business using basic foundations of strategy and energetics. Exactly what we're talking about today. All right, everything that I teach you is my own learned experience. So I told you at the beginning of this that I had built a successful business. I had doubled my yearly income in 6 months. I was coaching people and I was helping them do the exact same thing. I was helping them get time freedom, mental freedom, so they can actually go enjoy their time off without thinking about their business, without feeling guilty that they left their clients, and wealth freedom, having the resources to actually go out and live their lives. I was coaching people through this, and I had all these clients, and I was feeling so successful. I was feeling so excited and alive. And then I had a dip in sales, and I realized that my self-worth was attached to the success I was having in my business. So as soon as you start to decrease the success, are you able to still show up like you are on a mission to show up? Because you will constantly have ebbs and flows as an entrepreneur. You're constantly going to have ups and downs. That's the bad part of being an entrepreneur. Your income is not as predictable as having a corporate job. Every single day you show up to your corporate job, you know you're going to get paid at the end of the week or the month or whatever pay schedule you're on. Unless you lose your job, but just being a good employee most of the time will help you keep your job. As an entrepreneur, you can show up every single day. You can sell every single day. And if you don't sign clients, then you're not going to get paid at the end of the week. So there's unpredictability in entrepreneurship, and you need to be able to navigate the ups and downs. It's not for everybody. It's really not for everybody, but you got the intuitive hit to start your business. You had this gut feeling that you were meant for more, that you had a gift that you wanted to show people, that you wanted to share with people. You wanted this life of freedom. You wanted to go explore and travel the world while also making money and while also helping people do the exact same thing. And so you took the leap of faith, and now you're in too deep. There's no going back. You can never imagine yourself going back to a 9-to-5 job. And so now it's growth time. You got to start making money in your business. So how do you do that? Your strategy is to know who you're selling to, what you're selling, and how you're going to do it. You got to show up every single day. Imagine you went to a coffee shop. Let's say you go to Starbucks and you walk in and they're like, all the employees are kind of just playing on their phone, and they look up at you and they're like, hey, and you're like, hi, can I buy a coffee? And they're like, oh no, sorry, we're not selling today, but we're just open. That's what it's like as an entrepreneur. If you have all these options for people to buy from you, but you're not promoting them, it's like someone walking in to your Instagram, to your TikTok, and being like, what is Hannah selling today? Oh, nothing. Okay, I'm just going to go somewhere else. And they're going to go to the entrepreneur, they're going to go to the coach or the online service provider who's selling. Or it's like, let's say you booked out your services and someone comes in to the Starbucks and they're like, hey, I want to buy a coffee. And you're like, sorry, we're out of coffee. You're going to be like, well, why are you open? You're never going to be able to scale your business if you have a limit, you have a cap. So what I teach my clients is a scalable way to grow their business without sacrificing that time freedom, without sacrificing their mental freedom, without sacrificing their wealth freedom. You can have all three. You can have the wealth, you can have the mental capacity, you can have the time freedom. It's just how you build it. So Cellar Door says, if you have the what and the who, where does the business part of the how work? I love how confusing that sounds to anyone who hasn't been on this live stream. So if you have the what and the who, so your what is your business, like what your offer is, what you're selling. The who is who you're selling to, your soulmate client, your ideal client. The business part of the how is your social media strategy, how you're going to sell it. So what I do and no, it's not you, it's me. It's how I frame it. I know exactly what you're talking about. So the how part is the doing, it's the taking action. And so what I teach my clients to do inside of my program is to show up every single day and cross post your content. So right now I'm on Instagram live and I'm on TikTok live. I'm cross posting. I'm feeding two birds with one breadcrumb. So you got to know what you want to focus on, and you got to show up every single day. You got to make sure your Starbucks shop is open, stocked, and ready to sell. So what you need to do is you need to grow your audience. The more people you get in front of, the more you show up, the more people are going to be inclined to buy. You've probably heard this before, but it takes someone an average of 7 times seeing you or your product or your service to actually think about buying, which means you need to be everywhere. If you think about the people that you watch the most, they are always online. They're on TikTok, they're on YouTube, they're on Instagram, they're on, what else is there? Facebook, Pinterest. Like every time you open a social media app, you see their face. You see their backdrop. I've got this tapestry. I've got my plants. I literally wear the same thing in every single one of my videos and my content. You recognize me. So it's showing up and just selling. So what I would recommend, I give you guys action steps today, right? Your action step is 1, to post every single day on a platform of your choice. Let's start with Instagram or TikTok, whichever one you want to do. Post every single day, and the post needs to be informational, something that your audience can actually gain from you. What is your product, first of all? So if you want to say what you're selling, what your service is, let me know, and who you're selling to. But it needs to be something that's going to immediately benefit them. So for example, in this live stream, I'm giving you the 3 steps to sign your next client. You're seeing some face-to-face with me. Hi Lisa, welcome. You're getting an idea of my story, my personality, how I coach. And you're also learning 3 steps to take to sign your next client. So posts like that, posts that are educational, posts that share your story, posts that show a transformation that you can have on somebody, post that is a belief shift, some things that person needs to change in order to get from point A to point B with your blueprint and your services. And then you need to post every single day. That's challenge number 1. You need to then take what you posted and cross-post it somewhere else. Maybe that's posting from Instagram to TikTok, or TikTok to Instagram, or taking your TikToks and putting them on YouTube, or creating a podcast. 2 places where you're growing your audience every single day. And then I want you to sell your offer. Maybe that's in the post that you do, or if you're on Instagram, post to your stories. Post to your stories and share your offer. Actually sell. Do multiple slides of you selling your offer. And this doesn't have to be you talking, although I do recommend that. It could be you just sharing like those pre-made info slides. You've seen people do it before. I've done it. So if you haven't seen it, go look at my Instagram story right now. Those are 3 steps. Post on one platform, cross-post on another platform every single day. Sell in your stories, Instagram stories. Transaction-wise. Oh, it depends what your business is. Can you tell me a little bit more about it? How to best collect the funds for your business. So what I use is I am a service-based provider, which means I coach people. I bring them through programs. It's not obvious. It's okay. There's no wrong questions here. So what I do is when someone says, yes, I'm on board, I want to join your program, I use Stripe to send them an invoice. And on Stripe, you can have certain packages with a payment link, so you can just immediately send them that link, and then they can join. Or they can also send like an invoice where you can like break down what they're buying. So that's Stripe. It's free. It's pretty easy to use. And I think it takes like 3 days for those funds to leave your Stripe account and go into your bank account. Another thing you can do, since you're new, I don't really recommend this, but there's a lot of CRMs, which are client relationship managers. And a CRM can do the whole thing for you and automate it for you. So they come in and they see, they like maybe see an intake form where you ask them their name, what program they're interested in, what they want to join. They put all their information in, it redirects them to their invoice, they pay their invoice, and then you can have like a workflow that sets up their client portal for you, that sets up like an email to go out immediately. It gets pretty complicated. But we go all over this stuff inside my program, the Confident Creatrix program. It's a 3-month program, or the Confident Creatrix Blueprint. It's a 3-month program for coaches and creatives to set strong, strategic, and energetic foundations of a wildly successful business. So what we'll talk about is building that signature program, the exact marketing strategy that you need to get clients rolling in on autopilot. We'll talk about the workflows and the nitty-gritties behind the scenes work of your business, the technical stuff, the Stripe, the invoicing, all of that, contracts. We'll iron out a strategy that is so simple and easy to follow that it's like no-brainer. It's second nature to you. You wake up, you post on Instagram, you cross-post to TikTok, you do a live stream, you send an email, boom, you're done for the day. Then we go into navigating that ego, mind, and intuition oscillation. We're going to work on a lot of mindset work, a lot of energetic works, so that you always feel confident to show up, so that you always feel like you can take the next step. You can show up confidently. The more you show up confidently, the more people are inclined to come into your world. Whether that's through a freebie, whether that's through a low ticket program, or your high ticket signature program that you just created through the offer. So imagine if you had a simple but effective strategy to call in these clients on autopilot and build wealth while still enjoying your life. Whoa, a bird just flew up to my window. Without complex funnels, without paid ads, without all the over complicated stuff a lot of people are coaching about online. Imagine if you had the confidence that was built from within, so that you had the it factor that you see everyone else have online. And it's like, oh, I just have to join Hannah's world. I just have to join your world. What are you about? You're so confident that if someone doesn't sign today, you know they're going to sign in a week. You know they're going to sign in a month. And you had time freedom, energetic freedom, which means you can go and enjoy your day off without worrying about your business, without worrying about not signing clients or paying your bills. And you had the financial freedom, because you have these clients pouring in every single month, to actually live intuitively, to wake up and be like, I want to go on a hike, I'm going to go on a hike, to travel the world because you've always desired to travel the world, to live your life to the fullest. You know you're in this for the long run. You've already took the leap of faith, and that was a huge step. That was monumental. It was so brave of you to take that first step. And now you're in this. You're ready for the long run. You want to make this work, and you're going to go all in. You're ready for ease. You have questions though, like, who am I want to serve? What am I supposed to offer? How do I value my services? What's the most important thing to focus on right now? All these questions is why I created the Confident Creatrix Blueprint. It's a 3-month program that's going to lead you through all of these things, so that by the end of it, you're ready to go. You're signing clients on autopilot, and you've got a established business that's going to fund your life. So inside CCB, you will set strong foundations to build momentum so that you grow your audience and start signing dreamy clients on autopilot, like I just said. You will learn how to build an unstoppable movement. So you're all watching this, you're part of the Wildly Free movement. It's more about building a movement, a community of people that are dying to join your programs, than you just becoming rich, because that's not going to get you very far. And you create an unshakable connection to your intuition. Like I mentioned before, your intuition's always there to guide you to your next step. Always telling you the next step. You just need to quiet the ego mind to actually be able to hear it. So what if you knew the exact step to take every single day, and you didn't have to worry about what everyone else was doing? You didn't have to stalk people and try to emulate what they're doing, because you know intrinsically what you're supposed to do, what you're meant to do, because your intuition's guiding you, and you trust it deeply. You have that self-trust. And you cultivate long-lasting relationships, so that you have clients that stay with you forever. They sign on and on and on and on and on. Most of my income comes from the same handful of clients. It's not about signing thousands of clients. It's about signing the right clients that are going to stick with you forever. So if you are at this point where you're a brand new coach or creative, and you're ready to build foundations and get your business started on the right foot, or if you have signed clients in the past here and there, but you haven't set reoccurring revenue, consistent reoccurring revenue. Or if you have had that but are experiencing a dip in sales, the Confident Creatrix Blueprint is the best place to be to reignite your business, to make sure you have the foundations in place, to work through the ego mind that's popping up, the limiting beliefs, the stickiness, and create a wildly successful business. So if you are interested, said, course sounds amazing, smiley face, yes. If you are interested in this, reach out to me on Instagram, send me a DM, or go to the link in my bio. I have it linked there. You can check it out, read all the details of the program. And the next step would be to fill out the very quick application. Is just your name, your email, and what you're interested in. And then we will start a conversation from there. Perhaps we'll hop on a call, it'll be free, or we'll go into the DMs and talk more about the program, see if it's the right fit for you. But this program is life-changing. This is the 4th iteration of it. It was my very first program that I ever created. It has had countless graduates, and it's my most popular program to date. It's been 2 years since I've released it, and since then I've invested over $50,000 in myself, so I am a better coach, I'm stronger, I know more, I've gone through so many ego deaths and rebirths and restructuring, and I know so much more than I did the first time I ran this program. It's so good. So if you are interested in it, go reach out to me on DMs. I've already got people coming into my inbox asking. I have 3 spots for May, just 3 spots. So don't wait on this. Reach out. They're going to be snatched up. And I will see you all in tomorrow, next day. I post every single day, so look out for me. If you aren't following me, definitely follow me on TikTok and follow me on Instagram. And just join my world. Welcome to the Wildly Free movement, everybody.